Styles can be applied to dramatically change the look and feel of objects in the window and the form. Here we're running a program with just the defaults style file set, but in our code we can load a specific style file, which means we're loading a file with definitions of changes we want to make to the look and feel of some of the objects. Now if we look at that style file, we'll see that it's an XML file that has different attribute settings for different objects, or it can be set globally, or what we call pseudo selectors done conditionally. Styles applied conditionally. So if we run the program now with this style file applied, you can see the dramatic difference in the same program and how it is presented. Any of the fields that have focus are turning to red text. We can see that everything is turned to a white background except for the text edit in the middle there. And simply the style file definitions have been applied to those objects. Let's take a closer look at how these styles are defined. So if we open the style file, we'll see a variety of different style attributes and style settings. The first one at the top here with the star means a global setting. So we're setting the background color attribute to white for every object in the window and the form, unless it's being set by something else. So notice that everything is set to white except the text edit is set to blue, and that name field has a background of yellow. So a general overall global setting of white has been set unless a specific other attribute is overriding that. So if we look at the text edit, here we have a style that's set for all text edits. If the name is just text edit, indicating all text edits should have a background color of light blue. Now here we have another setting style of edit.important. So any edit field that has a style called important applied is going to get a background color of yellow. And that's how we see those difference between the global setting and the individual settings. Now the styles, as you can see, can be set for specific objects. And if a style name is prefaced with an object name, such as edit, then only those types of objects with that named style applied to it will get those settings. The text edit name here with no style name after it indicates all text edit type objects will get the setting. Now how do we set the setting? Well, in the form, we can look at the styles that are available and select different widgets and apply a style or styles to them. So the first thing we can do in Form Designer is open the style file that we want to work with. And ours is called prog1.4st. And that's going to load in the style file that's been written. Now you could write this directly in the Form Designer as well, but this has already been set up for us. You can see it shows in the properties that the background color for text edit should be light blue, and we could also add additional attributes here. The nice thing about working in Form Designer is you see all of the options available there in the property box for the style attributes. Then we select the text edit, and we're going to go ahead and choose the style to apply to it. When we pull that up, what this is going to show us is the styles that are available to this type of object. So here we're going to set the name style and the key style. And those two styles would be applied to that text edit. Now looking at this particular edit field, we can see that both the important style and the name style are being applied, and we can turn those on or off there as well. Let's go back to our style file, and let's just make some changes to help understand the impact of these styles. So let's change the overall background color to pink instead of white. And again, we say any object that has a background color attribute gets pink unless it's been set at the individual object level. And again, we can see individual style names, key and name, that would be for any object. We can also see one with the preface with the colon there, focus, meaning that any object that has focus, that the text will be red. And so as we move from field to field that can have focus, we see the text turn to red. We can also see that the edit field has an important style. Here the date edit objects have a possible date 1 style to change the impact of how the calendar widget appears. So we see that Friday is the start day of the week. Again, label.important, simply an option for label widgets, label objects that have been named important. Now down here we have one that's combined. We see that for a table objects, we could apply a list to style. The list to style applied if it's an even row, and if we're in input mode, will be light yellow. So there we see an even row, and we are in an input, then the background will be yellow. Now how do we know if this table has the style of list 2 applied? Well, we could look in the form, select the table, look at our properties, and we can see that the style set for this table is list 2. And if we pulled that up, we'd see how that is defined. So again, style files are applied to programs, and the style settings take effect either globally for all objects of a particular type, or for objects that have a particular named style or styles applied to them.